Hi, I'm Peggy Riley, and I'm a registrar in the Southeast Region Conference. And you've been sent this short video link and some overview documents to prepare you for the upcoming Zoom with Superintendent Mike for all MEG MAC members. Just as a review, MEG stands for Ministerial Education and Guidance Board. In our conference, we've divided our MEG into 4 geographic sub-teams: Alabama, Georgia, Gulf Coast, Central Florida, and South Florida. Additionally, as a conference, we have 1 MAC, which stands for Ministerial Appointments Committee. It's made up of 2 people from each of our 4 sub-teams, a clergy and a lay person from each of the 4, so that makes 8 plus the superintendent. That's the MAC. Well, what's the work of the MEG board? It can be summarized in 2 words: pastoral formation. We work with 3 specific groups. We work with ministerial candidates. That's our LMCs and CMCs. We work with existing clergy. And we also work with people who want to transfer into our conference and become one of our clergy. Let's just take a moment and summarize these 3 groups, what the MEG board does with each one. For local, in our regional MEGs, our ministerial candidates, what we're doing is we're screening potential candidates to see if they have the right motivation for ministry and they have some of the budding gifts and graces to be a future clergy person. And if they do, then we want to develop them. We want to oversee the developmental process so that our end goal is to be able to, in the future, be able to recommend qualified conference deacons and ordained elders at upcoming annual conferences. For our existing clergy, we want to do 3 things with them. First, the MEG, regional MEGs, should be uplifting preventative care for them. Clergy need to care for their own lives, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and relationally, in order that they remain healthy and replenished as they care for others. Secondly, as regional MEGs, we want to encourage greater fruitfulness in all of our existing clergy by reminding them that they need to be lifelong learners. They can take courses that are offered to our ministerial candidates or take courses elsewhere, and they need to be developing new skill sets. Our world is changing rapidly, and so as clergy, we need to be developing new skill sets. And third, regional MEGs are also involved in intervention, offering prayer, guidance, counsel when issues arise where a pastor or a local church would benefit from outside assistance. This may mean something's going on in the pastor's personal life that needs to be addressed, or there's some sort of tension within the congregation. And the third thing is the clergy transfers. The MEG is there to assist the superintendent as needed with Free Methodist clergy who are wanting to transfer into our conference or out of our conference to other Free Methodist conferences, or sometimes there are clergy from other denominations or no denomination. They're independent pastors who want to become a part of us. There is also an annual rhythm to our MEG MAC work. Of course, all year, the MEG board and the MAC are there to monitor the health and growth of our clergy candidates and leaders throughout the year. But our work really intensifies February through May in preparation for our upcoming annual conference gathering. Mid-February to the end of March, our regional MEGs conduct annual interviews with CMCs, new candidates starting or existing CMCs who are continuing. Then in late April through mid-May, the MAC will interview all potential elder candidates in our conference. to see if they're ready to be recommended to become elders at annual conference. Then the final half of May, after all the interviews are completed, the MAC works with the superintendent to finalize two important documents. The MEG report. This identifies clergy who will have a change in their membership status in the coming annual conference year. And the appointments list. This identifies where every single member, clergy member in the conference, will be appointed for the coming year, whether it's to a local church or some specialized ministry or their leave of absence, or they're retired. But every voting member of the conference is listed on the appointments list. And then as soon as annual conference is over, the whole cycle begins again, as a new annual conference year does not run January to December, but it runs from one annual conference to the next annual conference. In conclusion, I just want to remind MEG board members that our work with clergy is known as outcome-based ordination. We're looking for results, certain outcomes, and this is based upon three foundational emphases that we believe as Free Methodists, not just our conference, but as a denomination. There are three foundational emphases that need to be present for a pastor to have an effective, fruitful ministry. To see what those are, look at your first handout. I've sent you 6 attachments, and the first one is called What We Value. This is a chart of outcome-based ordination, and you'll note that the 3 columns, that the headings at the top, the first one is heart. We believe every clergy, first of all, needs to have a love for God and a love for others. This is the great commandment. In addition to that, this is the great commandment is the motivation or the method by which we fulfill God's mandate to us in the Great Commission. In order to be disciples who make disciples, we first need to love God and love others. The second column is the head column. This is being trained in God's Word so that we not only know the facts about God's Word, but we're also following through and doing God's Word. We're personally also obeying it. In addition to coursework, the head area emphasizes coursework to form within a candidate, as well as our existing clergy, a Wesleyan understanding of life and ministry. And the third column is the hands column. This is gaining practical pastoral skill sets related to leading local churches and impacting our local communities and beyond. You will see heart, head, and hands appearing in all ministry formation materials, both at our conference level and at the national level and coming from our bishops. Finally, there are 6 attachments I'd love for you to look over so you're prepared for our meeting, our Zoom meeting with our superintendent. I've already told you about the OBO chart. Also, there's a snapshot article that will, in one page, walks through the whole process of being an LMC, then a CMC, moving toward becoming a conference deacon or an ordained elder as the end ministry goal. There's a glossary page of denominational credentialing terms, just to make sure you're familiar with those. And then there's one page, one article each on a heart emphasis, a head emphasis, and a hands emphasis. The heart emphasis focuses upon a monthly mentoring session that happens between a ministerial candidate and their mentor or pastor. The head emphasis talks about coursework. You do not have to go to seminary to be a Free Methodist pastor, but you do have to have coursework. And so there is a document about that. And then the hands emphasis. This shows the types of practical experiences we want ministerial candidates to have and for existing clergy to be growing in. That's it. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you soon at the Zoom with Superintendent Mike. Blessings to you.